wasn't representative. I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure. You know, to both your points, I'm sure it wasn't representative of overall thought of PlayStation. But still, it's like the old games are dumb. Please enjoy a remaster of Crash Bandicoot coming out.
It's a very dumb statement. But it's like just like everything else, it gets blown out of proportion. Just like the Xbox has no games, gets blown out of proportion.
Right.
All right. So, hey, what's up, everyone? We are live. And this is our E3 prediction show. And as the title says, E3 predictions and huge Xbox Scorpio news. I really don't have huge Xbox Scorpio news. More or less clickbait. Anyhow, yeah. So we have a special guest this evening. I'm not going to refer to you by your nickname on TXR. Right, I won't do that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I'm not going to do that to you.
It dies here, Mike.
It dies here, exactly. But we have Mike, a.k.a. Inferno, from TXR and from Four Guys Recorders this evening. Mike, what's going on, man?
What's happening? Yeah, thanks for having me back again. Glad I could do some E3 predictions with you guys. I've got my 22-ounce beer ready to go. Hopefully, this lasts me this entire episodes. But I
hear Mike is taking the oath of neutrality tonight.
Well, judging by the way that Megadeth is already talking about bashing Xbox, I don't know if this will last the whole episode.
I'd like to point out, I think I'm the only member of this podcast who has met Mike in person.
This is true, but that'll end this weekend, right, Sam?
That you won't be able to say that this time next week, though, John.
That's right. Well, you know what? I had him first, so whatever. You can take my sloppy friendship seconds.
Ladies, this is another go around.
Jesus, what a way to open a podcast!
Video games, man. How about some video games?
Exactly. So, Mike, thank you again, man.
Absolutely
it's a pleasure having you on, man. And making his return, my brother from Rivia, Sam. What's going on, man?
Everything's on fire in the best possible way. Let's get going. Time's a wasting.
Yep, sounds good. As always, John, how are you this evening?
Wreck 'em up.
E. Jackson, what's going on, man?
I'm good, man. I'm jiggy as hell. E3 coming. Let's go.
Yeah, I hear that. And B Money, Mr. Tekken, what's going on, man?
Man, just chilling. I'm glad to be here, ready to talk these video games, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you know what, guys? We do actually have a giveaway. And all the video game talk we were having prior to the show going live, I haven't even thought how we're going to give this thing away. We have a $20 PSN gift card. Compliments of Mr. Fastback, who's been a guest here a couple times. We'll have to figure that out at some point because I'm drawing blanks right now. Unless anyone on the panel has a suggestion.
Hey, sometimes you just got to give it away. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes on Four Guys, I'll just go whoops and do like Control V in the chat. Whoever gets it, that kind of thing.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe we'll do that then. Maybe we'll do that. So,
Enrique, there's no rules. It's E3 week or coming up.
That's right.
All rules out the window, man. People are losing their minds.
All rules
crazy.
Crazy fake news all over the place.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. That's right. Apparently, Russia's trying to influence E3.
Games.
All right, so yeah, let's get to games. E3 starts this weekend officially. We're gonna run down all the shows. Why don't we start with I believe EA's first up on the docket, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, Saturday.
All right, so truth be told, I'm not really excited for Peter Moore's not there, so I'm not excited to watch.
No tattoos?
Yeah, no tattoos, and Peter Moore is the man. I'm just not really.
How dare you prejudge EA?
I'm just not that excited. I'm really not. So I'm gonna kick it out to you guys, Mike, since you're the guest this evening.
Excellent.
What are you anticipating seeing at EA's conference this year?
Well, I'll be at EA Play on Saturday from 4 till probably like 7-ish. So I will be playing a bunch of the EA stuff that I am excited for, which includes Star Wars Battlefront 2, of course. That is my number one game of anticipation for EA.
Yes.
I'm going to be checking out Madden 18, and I know everyone's going to be like, why are you playing a sports game at this thing? But it's the first time they're using Frostbite. I want to see what it's like. And, last year I bought Madden 17 because of what I played at EA Play, and usually it's not too crowded, so you can just get in there, sneak in there, play a quick match or something like that, and get on out. That's what it was like last year. So, I'll be checking that out. I am a big NBA basketball game fan, so I am interested in Live 2018, but not super interested. And as you guys know, they haven't come out with a live game in quite a long time, so. I am interested in that. I know you guys probably aren't too psyched for that, but I gotta tell you, I think that EA Play does it really well with in the conference as well. They hype up a lot of their games with, like, last year they had the Plants vs. Zombies characters there, like signing autographs, taking pictures. They had a Battlefield like warrior there, not warrior, but soldier, I should say. There, like, with making custom battle tags, and I thought it was really cool. So I'm really excited for what EA has to show. I'm not as excited as I am about, like, Xbox and Sony, of course, but
hey, Mike, real quick, I just want to interrupt you. Assassin said, "Stop lying in front of you're going there for the Battlefield 1 DLC." This might be true.
It may be true. I mean, who knows if they'll be showing that? I think they have a decent lineup. Like, I think Need for Speed. Need for Speed, I'm not too into that personally. I love racing games, but not Need for Speed. But I think Need for Speed and Battlefront are going to probably take it for them. But, I mean, they've been dabbling into doing some publishing for some indie stuff. Last year they showed Fee from Zoink Games, who made Stick It to the Man, Zombie Vikings. Really good, and they're doing Flipping Death, which is coming out on pretty much everything next year, I believe. So, EA is getting into some things that I think a lot of people don't know about. So I would be surprised if we're just going to see, someone like Pele or some old football player on stage this year. I think we'll see some meaningful stuff from EA, but I may just be optimistic.
Yeah, you might be. I'm just not excited for it, to be honest. What's interesting though, that they are bringing back NBA Live, so I'm interested to see how that kind of plays out. Considering they haven't, made an NBA Live game in fucking years.
Yeah,
I want to see what they do with Live, because, like Mike said, it has been a while, and I mean, they are arguably one of the, of course, one of the biggest publishers, so they have resources to make it better. And Live has really not been good in the last time last iteration of it. But I really, really wish that they would go back to the Street Series, because I think, like, right now NBA is, like, more popular than ever. And I think with just some of the big stars and players that you have in the NBA right now, NBA Street would be like, it would kill with, like, kids and like young players and stuff nowadays.
Yeah, what's true about that too, E, is that's a really good point, because you see stuff like what was that game that just came out? NBA Playgrounds. You see stuff like the 3-on-3 tournament that Ice Cube is doing, and all the old stars, like all that crazy 4-point shot, half-court games. I'm going to that, by the way, in Brooklyn. Already got my tickets, super psyched. Yeah, so all this crazy shit's going. The dunk contest is popular again, 3-point shootout, All-Star Weekend, stuff like that. Crazy NBA stuff. Outlandish NBA stuff is popular again. So if they went back to Street, I think that would sell really well. I'd buy it.
Yeah, think about how crazy that would be, man. Being able to, like, play with, like, Steph Curry in there and, like, LeBron and Harden and all these guys.
Oh man, if they announce that, watch out for my Twitter, gentlemen. I'm gonna be
Zach LaVine jumping out of the screen.
That's right. Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm definitely interested. I shouldn't say I'm not completely interested in what EA has to show, because obviously
too late. You can't backtrack, man.
Well, I'm going to backtrack a little.
Make me fine.
Yeah, right. No, Star Wars Battlefront 2. I'm definitely. I mean, anything Star Wars. I mean, new Star Wars drops this year, so I'm definitely excited to see that. I think they teased, or they showed a picture of Naboo, which I think is going to be the setting of one of the multiplayer maps.
I saw John's tweet about Naboo.
I didn't see that. John, what was your tweet about Naboo?
I think I just tweeted it out, and I was like, "Oh, look, Naboo."
I believe it was Naboo.
They're taking all the best parts of the prequel and just really.
Prequels had fantastic world building and fantastic worlds. Showing that off through the Battlefront, Frostbite engine, I'm down with that.
Look. As long as if Jar Jar is one of the heroes, I'm gonna shit a fucking brick. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Misa not want to see
pre-order deal.
Misa here to be player character avatar.
Imagine what his special ability is. Like, imagine what he would do.
way and throws boomba boombas behind him, whatever the hell they were called.
Dude, maybe he sprints right up the middle of the battlefield and he just throws up bombs everywhere. Dude, that'd be sick.
His special is he just runs out and says, "Misa no have a boom bomb."
I can see it. I can see the Twitter complaints now that like Jar Jar is way OP.
He's OP.
I will pay for Jar Jar DLC. The trolling aspect, yeah. I'm down.
Star Wars, though, we're forgetting about that little visceral title that they took from Star Wars. Maybe they'll have a
Henning?
Yeah. So
you think we'll see that?
Well, it's been a while. I think people are thirsty for it. This is the year of Star Wars. You know, they have a new movie coming out that people are anticipating. I know people liked Rogue One last year, but you know, everyone loves themselves a true Star Wars movie. So they got that. They got Battlefront. I think it would be foolish not to say a little something at the EA conference.
Yeah, at least tease it. You know what I mean? So we can get prepared for next year, and then they'll have the Star Wars event, you know, next year. So at least tease it, get it out there, have it on people's minds.
Yeah, and I want EA Sports to really start pushing the whole if it's in the game, it's in the game thing again. Like you could be like a hot dog vendor. You know? There's like a mini meta game in there where you can chuck the hot dog down at someone.
Oh my god, man. Be the beer man?
Yeah. Cotton candy.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I wonder if we'll see speaking of Star Wars, I wonder if we see if I can't even talk. If we'll see the game that Respawn's working on. Star Wars game.
Doubt it. That's even earlier in development than
there's no way.
No tease, nothing, no.
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 Only way we see it is if they show one of those like janky videos that they usually show at the EA conference where they're like, oh, well, these are some games that we have in development, and it's just a whole bunch of people sitting at their desk like showing you backgrounds and nonsense. So that's
true.
probably the only time you see it.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's pretty much from regards to EA. I mean, I think sports.
It's pretty cut and dry. I mean, you get the same thing every year, and then every other year you'll get a Star Wars game.
Yeah.
There is one thing.
Do you think they showed Dylan though? Do you think they teased it?
That's actually what I was about to say. Yeah. There's definitely a possibility.
I think that's a Microsoft stage thing, though.
Okay. So the question is whether or not Microsoft gets to do the exclusive reveal. It depends on just how deep the marketing deal goes on that.
I don't know how much you can say about it, Stan, but I have heard that is indeed what the case is. I have heard that Dylan will be on Microsoft.
I think it leans that way for sure. I would say that.
It would, and you know what? With everything, with Destiny 2 being so PlayStation heavy, it would not surprise me one bit.
No, it makes perfect sense actually.
Interesting. All right. So we have. All right. Let's move on to I'm not going exactly in order based on everyone's schedule because I want to save the big three to last. So why don't we jump over to Ubisoft and
what did you? Oh, okay. I thought you said Ubisoft.
No, I didn't say Ubisoft.
Wow. All right. I know where your mind's at.
Well, after seeing that, never mind.
I don't want to know what you're going to say.
No, I'm not going to be inappropriate.
Okay.
I'm not going
to. This podcast is not the place for inappropriate talk.
No, it's not. This is a family show, so.
Damn it, we're talking serious video game business here. Now, please, can we focus and talk about Ubisoft?
So Ubisoft. So I actually think Ubi's gonna have a pretty good E3 show. I mean, they just announced Far Cry, the new Far Cry game's coming out. I think we'll see Splinter Cell. Just those two games alone just have me excited for the Ubisoft conference.
Okay, so I have a question about this.
Yes.
I think we can all agree, and we have heard over and over and over, and I don't think it's a secret at this point, especially seeing as how I've seen E3 presentations for this year that I trust. Assassin's Creed Empire marketing rights are with Microsoft, and I fully expect to see that on Microsoft stage. So the question is how much of Assassin's Creed, or I did say Empire, I meant Origins.
Origins, yeah.
Yeah, how much, I'm still saying Empire. How much of Assassin's Creed Origins will we see on Ubisoft stage as opposed to Microsoft stage?
So Microsoft's press conference comes before Ubisoft, so what'll most likely happen is a gameplay trailer, an announcement for Microsoft, and then like a gameplay demo on Ubisoft's.
Okay,
that's what
makes sense.
That's usually how it goes.
Interesting Yeah, I agree. Okay. So I thought weird. I thought Microsoft's conference was after Ubisoft's, but maybe I just
Nope.
don't know. No. Okay. Cool.
No.
All right.
No.
Aside from that, as far as Ubisoft's conference go, I expect that we'll see some. I don't know. Maybe some Fallout Division stuff. Who knows? I
See
wonder
some
if we'll
crew
get
too.
Yeah, maybe a little Watch Dogs 2 DLC or some maybe a Steep sequel or Steep DLC. I don't know. Honestly, I'm not. Aside from Assassin's Creed, I'm not incredibly interested in what Ubisoft is bringing to the table this year, simply because I know that Beyond Good and Evil 2 will not be there.
Nope.
And that kind of killed any hype I might have had for Ubisoft's conference. So, yeah, whatever. It is what it is.
There's also supposedly going to be Splinter Cell.
I'm not a Splinter Cell guy, so.
No, I'm just throwing it out there.
I am such a Splinter Cell guy.
Sandbox sucks.
You're crazy. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Theory, Pandora tomorrow. Like, great, amazing games, man.
Mhm.
Conviction, Blacklist. Double Agent was all right, but Splinter Cell has definitely had a great run, man. I can't wait for it to come back.
Pandora tomorrow was great.
Yeah.
That might be one of the best in the series, I think.
Definitely. Pandora Tomorrow and Conviction, I think, are the top for me. I really love those two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did Conviction kind of got like a bum rap from some people, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't know why, man.
That
That game was so good. Yeah, that game was so good.
I think because
Yeah, it was.
didn't it strip the game down, kind of made it bare bones, so you weren't really using gadgets as much as you were like just true stealth.
So that's what I thought made
You
it
had,
like,
like, kinda like-
much more interesting. It was like, and I guess, I don't know, it kind of hit, I guess, in that height of Jason Bourne type stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it made it more approachable, to be honest with you. I think
Yeah.
for people who wouldn't give it a shot, I think they did and liked it. I know a bunch of my friends who wouldn't be bothered with, games where you take your time, just want to move through it. I think Conviction kind of like scratched that itch for them. And then for me personally, like I do like that stealth element. So, I mean, if you want that stealth, it was there. So I don't know why people were complaining about it. Yeah, you didn't have to use it as much to get through the levels, but nonetheless, it was there. You can make your own game. You know what I mean? Make the gameplay what you want it to be.
Yeah. No, I thought it was a great game. And same with Blacklist. Blacklist was awesome too, man.
Yep.
And yeah, another one that people ignored though, for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it came out at that weird time too. It was, right when the new consoles were getting hyped up. So
Yeah.
a lot of people kind of held off. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey guys, don't forget Just Dance.
Yep, I was just gonna say
Just Dance well.
when I gave my predictions, I was gonna be like, I'm predicting Flow Rider on stage this year. They always have. They have Usher. They got Jason Derulo. I'm calling Flow Rider, and if it happened, you heard it here first, people.
Yeah.
Flow Rider, really?
I'm thinking Flow Rider. Yeah.
So listen to this, everyone. We're dropping nuggets. We got Flow Riders going to be at the Ubisoft conference, revealing Just Dance. so you heard it here first. Yeah, and I wonder, are they going to are we going to hear anything with? I wonder if they're going to give any updates regarding Rainbow Six. I mean, that's kind of like been their big game. Well, that and Ghost Recon.
See, I disagree with you on that, Enrique. I think I'm calling something new for Rainbow Six. I think they got to, because it's so successful now. It started off on a bad track. So successful, both esports and non-esports. I think this may be a really crazy hot take, but I think they show off a brand new mode. That
makes
is
perfect
multiplayer.
sense.
Yeah, that's
Rainbow
multiplayer.
Six Siege is one of only 2 shooters this console gen that has more players now than it did launch.
Wait,
The
hold
other
on.
is Halo 5.
Oh, talking about Rainbow Six? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're
Such
the
a
only
good
2
game,
games
man.
that have managed to do it, so it makes perfect sense that, they need to be focusing on Rainbow Six for sure.
Well, especially since Rainbow Six is literally, I think, gaming's most impressive Phoenix Rising from the Ashes story in the past decade,
Mm-hmm.
hands down.
A compelling case could be made, for sure.
The way that game has bounced back from its initial launch is nothing short of stunning, which really kind of drives home the disappointment that Ubisoft was not able to do the same thing or recapture that same mentality with The Division, which I think is probably point.
You froze there for a second, John.
Yeah.
What's that?
You froze for a minute.
Oh, sorry about that. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah,
Yeah, we can now.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, what I was saying is it really drives home the disappointment for me that Ubisoft will never be able to recapture that with The Division like they did with Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tough with that because the Division is so much more based on your level than Siege. I think Siege, you can jump in and play with some people. Granted, you don't, you don't know the maps. You don't have as much at your disposal in terms of operators and stuff like that necessarily, but or gun attachments and all that you unlock with Renown. But at the same time, I think they could have worked. I think they could have brought Division back. I mean, look how hyped Division was. You kind of just alluded to it. One of the most played betas ever, and it just goes to shit. It really is sad. I agree with you. I agree with you on that sentiment, John, because, I mean, they had a good concept there, and they just kind of let it go. And I think it's too soon for Division 2, so what are they going to do next? It's an interesting question.
I mean, I honestly don't think we're going to see any DLC for it at E3. I really, especially with Destiny 2 coming this year, I think that would be a fool's errand. Because nobody's going to play it. I mean, everybody's going to play, Destiny 2. So there's no really good time to release that. And I think it's unfortunate because I don't like to see any game fail. I've been considering that as to whether or not we would see anything from The Division at E3, but I just don't think it's in the cards.
Yeah,
I think the big misstep for The Division was that it didn't have a true competitive multiplayer.
Yes,
I think a lot of people kind of slept on the fact that it was this great Tom Clancy game, without the true competitive multiplayer.
I mean, it's a third-person cover shooter. Just make it like Gears of War. It's a no-brainer. Like
exactly.
Or put a fucking or even like a horde mode or like a 6v6 or something.
Well, it did kind of have a horde mode. Like I think it was one of the.
Yeah. I mean, those
Last
were
man
basically
standing gets the golden beanie.
Yes.
I got the golden beanie is mine.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that people have caught out with Ghost Recon, and I think that's one of the reasons why they're gonna the next DLC drop is going to be the competitive multiplayer, where they dropped it before. So. I think that's a huge misstep with The Division. I think they still have a chance to correct that, but I don't think they're going to do it anytime soon. It'll probably release whatever the next follow-up game is for The Division.
Yeah. All right, so that's Ubisoft. Unless anyone else wants to add to that topic.
Yeah, I think we beat that horse.
I hope we do see some smaller stuff from Ubisoft. I think they kind of struck lightning in a bottle with like Child of Light.
That's a good point.
Their
Valiant
smaller
Hearts.
titles. Valiant Hearts. I hope they revisit some smaller stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
South Park.
Yeah, South Park.
South Park. Fractured Butthole, yeah.
Yeah, the fractured butthole. I think that game has disaster written all over it, but that's just me.
It's in a rapidly crowded fall, and Eric, you and I kind of talked about this a while ago. It's definitely a game that a lot of people would be willing to just pick up on its own in addition to something else. But every game that gets added to the fall, the more I get concerned.
Not only that, but I just considering the development hell it's been in, the fact it got delayed a billion times. I think compared to its predecessor, I don't think it's going to do well. I think that game is in trouble. Technically and from a sales standpoint as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And B, I agree with your point earlier about some of the smaller titles. They've done really well with some of those games. So I'd like to see some of that stuff from them as well.
Yeah, and I initially thought that like South Park might be okay because it's one of those games that people pick up alongside like a big tentpole game. But no, maybe not. Guys might be right.
Listen,
I hope I'm wrong. I hope it does well. I never wish anything bad on any game, but.
No, but we know the realities of what the fall does to some certain games nowadays, man.
See, what they need to do with South Park is they need to have it on stage, show it off, say, it's coming in October, guys, like get psyched. But that's not all we have for South Park. We have this smaller title called, I can't remember what it's called now. I had this whole build up in my head. Now I can't remember what it's called. But the tower defense game that was on the 360, like bring another one of those, man. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The South Park tower defense game, right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and just like throw it into the package Like, hey, here you go.
There you
Yeah,
go.
South Park, let's go tower defense
Yeah.
play. That was so good. Bring another one of those. Make a negative into a positive, Ubisoft. Come on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Throwing a little basketball. Anyone remember that movie? No.
Mhm,
Oh God, get that
mhm.
shit out! I hate that movie.
Oh man.
It's a classic.
No, it's not.
Classic American cinema.
Oh.
Bring basketball in native 4K. Am I right?
At 60 frames a second.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh god, man.
All right, John. Why don't we go ahead and move to Bethesda? So,
This is an easy one.
yeah. I
Praise
think
Todd.
what's that?
Praise Todd.
Todd bless everybody. Todd bless. Todd bless.
Yes.
Bless up.
Todd the Father, Phil the Son, and the Holy 4K 60.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know
Lord.
who this is. Easy. I think it was you, John. But yeah, this one's pretty easy. We're definitely going to see a new Wolfenstein. That's basically teased last year.
That would be Wolfenstein: The New Colossus, which, for anybody who doesn't know, that is a very clear reference to the Statue of Liberty. So I think this Wolfenstein is we're going to see a Nazi-controlled America, which is a interesting new direction for the series. Sam, it sounds like you probably agree with that assessment.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be one of the showpieces.
And hot take time. Everybody get your hot sauce and your salsa for a little taco action. I think it's a release date this year.
Bold.
You think it's released this year?
Bethesda is fond of those tactics,
Exactly.
and it works
Yep.
well for them. I think one. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
John.
I was gonna caveat that. I'll say here's a hot take for you. Okay, either Wolfenstein or The Evil Within 2. So both will get announced, and one of them will get released this year.
Exactly, and the other will be released either April or May next year.
Agreed.
With no
100%.
review copy.
With no review copies, Bethesda does not do review copies.
Yep.
Well,
Okay.
actually, I just want to correct that. That's actually a common misconception. They give review copies. They just give them
That's
on the
the
release.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't give them out early.
Right. Yeah.
Which means reviews don't drop for like a week or 2 weeks.
Right. Do not trust the review of a Bethesda game that comes out immediately after the game launches, because they did not spend enough time with it.
That's a good point. Yeah.
No rules.
Now, they're supposed to reveal a new game, right? At least that's what I've heard.
At least one, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Project Starfield
Starfield. Yeah.
Starfield. Yeah, I was gonna say that now.
is best described as a fusion of Mass Effect and the Elder Scrolls.
So, are you guys ready for another hot take?
Go ahead.
Another Bethesda take. Long shots.
Let me get my
Probably not
taco
gonna happen. Get your tacos out. Get your shells.
Shells, Jesus.
Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
Here's why. And here's why. I get. Granted, it's a long shot, but it'll have been 6 years since the release of Elder Scrolls 5. That is the usual time. Go back and line up every announcement and release. That is the period of time between Elder Scrolls games.
I agree.
I think it's time.
Here's the thing, though. Project Starfield or Starfield, whatever it ends up being called, whether that's the real name, final name, whatever, is being done by Todd Howard's personal team, by Bethesda Game Softworks.
Todd
Bethesda
bless.
Studios. Todd bless, of course. So here's the problem with that. They have already said multiple times that they are working on new IP, which is Starfield, and that it will absolutely come out before the next Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, but Todd also said we were going to get Fallout 4 with very little bugs. So
Compared to other Fallout games, yeah.
What a high bar.
Yeah, right. I was just gonna say that's a high bar there.
It just works, you heretic.
I'll say this much. Like I said, is it a long shot? Yeah, I completely acknowledge that, but I absolutely do not think it's outside of the realm of possibility.
You think we'll have stiff combat animations like we typically do with Elder Scroll games?
No, they are not using the creation engine anymore. They are
Thank
using
God.
a new engine, which is built around the tech of the id Tech 6 engine, which is what Doom runs on.
Thank God, no ham faces then.
So, I have a question for the group in regards to Bethesda's conference, actually. Do you guys think we'll get Dishonored 2 DLC?
I think so.
Probably not.
It's a coin flip.
Because
it's a coin flip.
I know the game did not sell well. It should have sold well. It deserved to sell well, but it did not sell well. So do you guys think they revisit it?
I'm almost inclined to say yeah, just for the fact that at times Bethesda doesn't beat by like the drum everyone thinks that they do. Like they will wild card it.
Yeah, for sure. I'll say this: I certainly hope they do. I would love to get an expansion with like Dowd, from like the Knife of Dunwall.
Yes, I love Dowd.
Oh man, that DLC for Dishonored was just awesome.
I'm actually replaying that DLC right now. It is so good.
Fantastic, yeah, fantastic. So I really hope that they just go ahead and roll the dice because sometimes that can actually bring people back, depending on when they release it. If you like play it up, you give a nice trailer, it can drum up interest in it again.
Yeah.
So are you saying that it's coming? You think it's coming before the fall, then, Eric?
Now that part, I don't know. That's a good question. That might not be.
Would have to release like August, September, I think.
Yeah, right. You hit it in August. That might you might be able to catch like a small window. And if you basically put it out as maybe like a definitive type collection.
Yeah.
With a really good price point, like a very attractive price point to it. Yeah. But yeah, you got to go early.
I just want to say there's tacos in the live chat right now.
There are?
Of course there are.
Yeah. No, I mean seriously, there's tacos in the live chat. If you guys go, John, you have started a trend, my friend.
It's a Brap tradition.
Yeah. we serve up gaming knowledge and tacos on Brap.
The hottest tacos on Brap.
Yes, the hottest tacos.
Well, John was right about them showing Elder Scrolls at their E3 conference, I believe. But it's not going to be that, and it's not going to be Elder Scrolls Online. But instead, it's going to be Skyrim for the Switch. Am I right?
That's a great point. So that's the other thing. I guarantee we get Skyrim. We get a Switch date or a release date, and I guarantee you I'll buy it. Because
I'm there with you, John.
I can take Skyrim wherever I want. Todd bless us, everyone. This is just one more of Todd's blessings raining down upon us. So I think I'm actually really looking forward to Bethesda's conference. If you guys give me a minute, I'm going to go hit the head. Please continue the discussion without me.
Yes, go hit the head, John.
Bethesda will be fantastic, and I
agree. Yeah,
they always do a good job. They have, in my opinion, in 2015 and 2016, given us two very solid quality conferences. So I expect that to continue.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think so. I think so too. What about what's going on with Quake? They showed Quake last year.
It's in beta right now.
Okay, I know it's a PC exclusive. Do you think any chance it comes to maybe something like the Scorpio?
I would hope. I don't think so.
I'm hearing the vaguest of rumors that it might theoretically, but that would be a future type thing. That wouldn't happen right now. That would happen years down the line or something like that. Mm-hmm. When the restriction for games having to be on both consoles would no longer be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I think Quake just lends itself to keyboard and mouse input, and I know I'm going to get flack for that, and Sam's computer blowhard, PC blowhard, whatever. But it's true. Like I played the beta a couple times during both the periods, and I think that it plays so well on PC. I could not imagine playing it on a console. Like you just such quick, precise aiming that. I'm not a huge proponent of keyboard and mouse in every single shooter. Like if I play Battlefield 1 on my PC, I'm plugging my controller in. But for this one, I didn't even attempt it. I just feel like you need to be so precise, so quick moving, and I feel like keyboard and mouse really lends itself to that. So if it did come, I'd be excited. Maybe I'll pick it up, but I'd be more inclined to play it on PC, to be honest.
All right, what are we talking about? What I missed?
We're talking about
Quake Champions very briefly.
PC Master Race, Quake Champions.
Oh, cool. Who cares?
Yeah. So, yeah. But Sam, I agree with you 100%. I think they're going to have a really, really strong showing. I'm excited. And they're going to have the best after party because apparently they had an awesome after party last year.
Not even up for debate.
Yeah. Did you, Inferno, did you go to that?
I did not go to Bethesda last year, no.
Okay. Because I heard the party was off the chain. B-Money, you were there, weren't you?
I was.
Now, how insane was that party?
I think they host the best parties. So if you got a chance to go, definitely go and enjoy all the fun. I think they're supposed to have some sort of carnival theme this year. So last year was amazing. I can only think that this year would be even better.
What was it last year? Fall Out Boy, right? Or is that right? Or Blink-182? Or who was it?
I think it was Fall Out Boy. There. Oh, Blink-182 was there?
Yeah.
This year it's going to be Young MC.
Young MC, you crazy, man. Singing What's the Move. Yeah. By the way, big shout out to Rand Al4, who's in the live chat.
Oh,
Says,
man.
Best
Man.
parties are in the pony stables.
Pony
Ooh.
stables. Oh, shit.
I don't know what that means. Rand. All right.
Well, Ray did say he's not Randall PlayStation. So
He's
Hey, his first PlayStation, his first review for PS4 game hit today.
Oh, did it?
We got to check that out.
check it out.
War Remains of Edith Finch. He loved it. Everybody should love it. It's a fantastic game.
I gotta play that, man. I still have not played it.
Yeah, I haven't played it
I
either.
heard nothing but great things. So.
Heard it's amazing.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, let's move on to the big three. Who shall we start with first?
Let's start with Microsoft because I think that's the most interesting conference.
It is. It is. It is.
It is.
Interesting conference. They have a lot. I think they have a lot at stake here. I think.
I think they have the most to lose.
Yes, they most to gain, most to lose.
Although it's closer to Nintendo though, Enrique. Nintendo also has quite a bit to lose.
I would say in terms of momentum right now, Nintendo has more to lose. In terms of potential, it's Microsoft. And lose gain, either way.
Yeah, because I think if Nintendo has the momentum, if they have a weak showing, I think there are more people, I think at this point, even though you see a lot of people that are, ex-bots, if you will, on Twitter, I think more people would be forgiving of Nintendo because it's so early and, who knows.
I tend to agree. Yeah. And I just don't see anything slowing the Switch momentum down at this point.
Yeah.
I have friends in retail and I know insiders in retail, and the minute this thing is hitting fucking shelves, it's gone. Like stock is gone. So, and usually as soon as because there are people watching websites, waiting for this thing to hit, and as soon as it does, it's gone. So like imagine what happens when like fucking Mario or wow. But anyway, but
You mean when Pokken Tournament?
Like I laughed at it too, but dude, it's gonna sell a bajillion.
That's what I was gonna say. People can say what they want and laugh, but that game's gonna sell crazy.
It's not what
are
I'm
you talking about?
Pokken Tournament.
Like it's not what I wanted, but it's gonna sell a bajillion fucking copies.
Mm-hmm.
Just like ARMS is gonna sell a billion copies next week.
Yep.
But as far as Microsoft goes, I think the smart play for Microsoft is to open the show with Scorpio, talk about it for 2-3 minutes, and fucking shut the fuck up about it and talk about games.
That's not going to happen.
That is totally going to happen.
I hope it does, because anything other than that is a fucking disaster. Talk about it for 2 to 3 minutes, get the price out there, talk about the games, and then mention that, hey, every single game we're showing is running on an Xbox Scorpio, and that's it. Nobody goes to E3 to talk about fucking hardware. I mean, Sony's...
That's why they did the Digital Foundry reveal first.
Exactly. Sony's PS4 Pro reveal put me to fucking sleep on the podcast. When we were broadcasting that shit on Superform Gamescast, which of course goes live every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Not this Thursday, though.
Not this Thursday, though. Not this Thursday. But I fell asleep. I started nodding off because it was so fucking boring. And Microsoft, they had the potential to fall in the same trap. I don't think they will. I hope they don't. But yeah, that's what I think about Microsoft opening.
So you guys think they'll show the hardware for like 2 or 3 minutes and then just be done?
They'll show what it looks like, and if it's a low price, they will not talk about the price until the end. Which, evidently, based off of analyzing the ads, is looking like more of a possibility.
I don't think it's anything under 450. I think 450 is the most likely.
I wouldn't be surprised if they showed at the beginning for a few minutes, show games like John says, and then, interspersed here and there, they pepper some more information about it. You know what I mean? Keep the interest on Scorpio because, let's face it, they got to sell some consoles. Like they got to close this gap, and why release Scorpio and pump it up as much as they do if they don't think that's going to help close the gap? I mean, John, I know you're on record saying Pro and Scorpio are not going to be the things that define this generation and
absolutely not.
Sales. But at the same time, they're obviously pushing this to a great extent in order to close that gap. They think this is going to help close that gap, convince maybe people to migrate over a little bit. So, I think that if they show it 2 or 3 minutes, that kind of does it a little bit of a disservice. But if they show it for like 15 minutes straight or like 10 minutes straight, it's going to be a bore, like you said. So I think they need to like kind of split it up a little bit.
what they can do is they can show it for a couple of minutes, show what it looks like, et cetera, at the beginning, and then they can have developers, as they're presenting their games, talk about, and we use this blah blah feature to do this. And that's it.
Yeah, sure. Like, talk about 4K. Talk about 4K streaming. Talk about, I mean, I don't know. Like, revealing hardware is always tricky, right? Especially when it's something like this that's never been done before. I mean, Sony didn't talk about the PS4 Pro at E3. They talked about it at its own event. So this is the first time we are seeing iterative console announced at E3 at the biggest gaming trade show. So I don't know. Like I could see this going a number of ways. I mean, it could be a huge success. It could be an unmitigated disaster of a showing, or it could be what I think it will be, is somewhere in the middle, where it's okay. Here's our new console. If you guys want, it looks great. I don't expect them to say this is what you fucking need. Everybody go out right fucking now. If you don't have, go buy the Scorpio. I think because that's counterproductive to what Microsoft needs to do. As Inferno very, very succinctly said, very intelligently said, they need to get consoles out the door. Microsoft does not give a shit whether or not you're buying a Scorpio or an Xbox One Slim. They don't. They just want you to buy an Xbox family of consoles. That's what Microsoft wants, and that's what they need to be doing. So again, which is another reason why I think the price is probably $450. I think it's close enough to $499 where it seems like a premium console, while at the same time, with everything in there at $399, I mean, $50 is $50. And let's say this thing sells, 20, it's not going to sell 20 million units, but let's say it sells like 10 million units, right? I mean, multiply 50 by 10 million. So, we don't know exactly what Microsoft is eating on the cost of this, but I guarantee you they're eating something. And Microsoft is a corporation. They're not about losing a shitload of money. So, again, I don't think Microsoft gives two shits. And you guys, I mean, I don't know. You guys tell me if you disagree. I don't think they care if you buy a Scorpio or an Xbox One as long as you're buying an Xbox. That's what matters.
No, they want to push consoles. That's just the Xbox One S is going to be the major seller. And it's always going to be the major seller, as it was last year when it sold gangbusters, even though people thought revealing Scorpio and the S at the same time, this is a disaster.
It's the same thing, right? When people when Sony released the PS4 Pro, right? People said, "Oh, the PS4 Pro is going to overtake the Slim." I'm like, "You're smoking some fucking serious shit." And it's the same thing for people who think that the Scorpio is going to become the breadwinner for Microsoft. It's not. But I don't know. I mean, who knows? I think it's gonna be really interesting the way they reveal this thing. Just do it smart. Like I said, I mean, this one is Microsoft's to win or Microsoft's to lose. They can knock it out of the park, or they can swing and a miss. It is all up to them.
Well, the way all eyes are going to be on them.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. It is actually the conference I am most intrigued to see, because again, we've never seen an iterative console announced at E3 before.
Their messaging needs to be tight too.
I think it will be.
Yeah,
it will be.
It has to be.
You guys will notice there hasn't been any leaks this year thus far. Certainly
thus far, we've still got
True, but last year we knew about Dead Rising 4. 2 weeks out. It's nowhere near the same level.
That's true.
Yeah. B-Money, what are your thoughts, man?
I don't know,
or
man.
Not.
I'm sitting back listening, man. I'm enamored by the Golden State game right now. You know what I mean? So, I was checking that out. My mistake. But I mean, I think I think that, like you guys said, I think it's their show to lose or win. You know what I mean? I think they definitely have to come out and talk sparingly about the Scorpio. I almost wish that they don't talk about it at all at the E3 conference. Just Microsoft hosts like their after show all throughout E3, like the whole E3 weekend. So they have plenty of time to talk about it if they wanted to. They can send out a bunch of stuff to the media, let them spread the word. I'd rather them just come on the stage and show me game after game after game after game, reveal the price and move on. You know what I mean? Tell me about, I don't really care about it. It's kind of unnecessary. Just give me the price and tell me when it's coming out, and I'm good to go.
Yeah.
So I am usually one to shy away from controversial opinions, right? Like, I don't do this often. But
Of course not.
But you guys know what you think of this. So obviously, Crackdown 3 will be there, right? Like
Yes, and it will have a huge showcase.
as it should.
Yes.
I don't think it releases this year,
No.
I think.
and I don't think.
I think they don't got no choice, man. I think if they delayed it again, it's pointless. Like it just falls off the wagon.
I think it's a bad idea releasing this year. I really, really do.
I think it drops late summer, August.
No.
That early, huh, Enrique?
No.
Yeah.
No, I think it comes. Honestly, I think they have to roll the dice and drop it when Scorpio drops.
Agreed.
Yeah.
They have the die is sort of cast.
Whatever happens with it.
And I don't think it's a good idea because, okay, so Shadow of Mordor is pushed back to October 10th, right? Which tells me that that's probably on or about when the Scorpio is releasing.
Very close
Right.
to.
I don't know the exact date, but I'm willing to bet it's in that area.
John,
what's that?
I'm going to interrupt you for a moment. Randolph
Please.
Thor in chat says it is 100% coming this year.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good idea.
He's saying
Um,
Sea of Thieves is next year.
I don't think it's a good idea, and I'll tell you why. Because if it releases on top of Scorpio, which I think it probably will. I mean, now that Rand confirms it, I think it probably will. I mean, think about what's coming out. I mean, Crackdown 3 is not. I mean, the Crackdown series is cool, but it's not what I would call a Halo or a Gears or an Uncharted or. I mean, it's not a huge marquee tentpole franchise. It's not, and people can sit there and say, "John, you're wrong," but I'm not wrong.
But what if they make it that way?
Exactly.
Market it a totally different way that it was previously marketed, and
I mean, that's fine, but it's coming on the heels of Destiny 2. It's coming right before a return to boots on the ground Call of Duty. Then you got Battlefront 2 coming out right after that. On top of Assassin's Creed Origins, which is going to be huge this year because it's taking a year off. There's a lot of hype around it. I mean, what if fucking Bethesda's next game comes out this fall? I mean,
They have to roll the dice. People complain at Microsoft for not taking risk, and so if they.
But the reason, Sam, the reason they're not taking risks is because outside of Halo 5, every exclusive they have released in the fall has performed from underwhelmingly to terribly. I mean,
Forza Horizon 3 didn't, but
okay, but this is different. I mean, Forza is an annual series; it's a racing game. This is different. Like Quantum. I mean, I get Quantum Break didn't release in the fall, but Sunset Overdrive underperformed. We're not even getting a sequel to that. Gears of War 4 underperformed. Quantum Break underperformed. I mean, some of these are not all these released in the fall, but Rise of the Tomb Raider fucking got murdered, and I'm almost 100% certain the same thing is going to happen to Crackdown 3. I don't think it's a good time to release it. I don't. It's the same reason, Sam. It's the same reason that Uncharted 4 and The Order got moved. Not because these games weren't ready. I don't give a shit what anybody says. It's because it's a terrible fucking idea to release these games, these exclusive titles in the fall, because nobody will buy them except Halo. That's it. That is the only first-party game, aside from like an annualized series like Forza, that is going to do well in the fall season. I think Crackdown 3 disappoints at the box office, so to speak.
And maybe it does. And maybe you're absolutely right, but I think if they are going to market this and try and make it the next big thing, then you know what? So be it. They have to try something.
I think they should have had Halo 6 at the show. It was originally going to be there, and I don't know why they dropped it. I think that was a huge error.
Because they're giving it more time. Because they're giving people more time in between. Giving Halo more time in between.
From Halo 5, yeah.
The thing
they're
is,
giving more people to want it. Giving people more time to want it, rather.
I want Microsoft to succeed. I want Crackdown 3 to succeed. I really, really do. This industry, I may not own an Xbox, but I don't subscribe to this fanboy bullshit of I want one console to do better. I want everybody to flourish. Because without a strong Microsoft, without a strong Nintendo, without a strong Sony, the industry is weaker for it. So we should all want these. I want everything to do well. And the reason I am being tough on Crackdown 3 and its release date is because I'm afraid it won't. And that saddens me. The game has been in development for years and years and years. People pulled their heart and soul. I mean, I don't like poor release dates. I don't like what it does to games. I don't like what it did to Sunset Overdrive. I don't like what it did to Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I don't like what I am 99% confident it's going to do to Crackdown 3.
Well, Sam, you're a proponent of Crackdown being the biggest game pushed. I take it, right? You don't think that there's another game that Microsoft has that
Shadow
they could push?
Shadow of War is going to be pushed just as hard, but that's because they have a marketing deal kind of like Destiny, and where in terms of marketing they treat it like a first party, which actually makes sense because it's an RPG type game, but it's not the same thing. So in terms of their internal studios for this year, and I emphasize this year, it is the one they'll push. Now, Forza 7 is obviously going to be there. That's the worst kept secret of E3. That will do well. That'll appeal to racing fans in early September, as Forza always does.
Right.
But
I want to see Knights of the Aegis. I think that's what Microsoft needs to
well,
push.
let's get to that. We'll get to that later. We will get to that in after this. This is the last thing I want to say about Crackdown. You know what? Unfortunately, you might be right, John. You might. But at the same time, maybe it's just a gamble that they have to take, because look at how crowded the first quarter of 2016 was.
Right.
Look at how crowded the first quarter of 2017 is probably going to be. We keep saying like, oh, the fall is crowded. Like, yes, maybe in terms of the third party stuff, but the entire year apart from the summer is crowded anymore.
Like,
So
Sam,
they have to take a gamble that they can sell. Hold on, let me just finish this one thing, and then I promise I'll let you talk.
oh yeah, no, you're
They
good.
have to take the gamble, assuming Scorpio launches, alongside Crackdown 3, assuming the two come out on the same day, which I think they 100% will. They just have to sell it. They have to say, look, this is the next big thing. This is what you can do. You and all of your friends want to be able to do this. You want to, whether you're on Scorpio or just a regular black monolith Xbox, you want to own this. And if they can pull it off, maybe they make it the next big thing. And if not, no one can say they didn't try.
So, like, Sam, I didn't mean to yell at you or come off as abrasive. I apologize if I did.
Oh, no, dude.
I just,
no problem.
my frustration is born out of wanting this game to succeed.
I hear you. I get what you're saying. Like, it's going to hurt me as well if it doesn't. I get what you're saying. Don't get me wrong. I 100% get it. I just think the die is cast and they don't really have a choice.
Right.
For them, they have to just do it as best as they theoretically can.
Well, and that's unfortunate, and that goes to Enrique's point of it. Will it release in August? No, because I mean, the whole point of the push behind this game is to get it ready for Scorpio, and if it releases in August, well, that kind of defeats the purpose.
No, it won't release in August for the same reason Shadow of War was moved from August.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. People were like, "Oh, it's not ready for launch." I'm like, I know exactly why it's being pushed.
Right.
We get Scorpio in October then.
Late
Gotta
October.
be. October or November, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, my wife
think
just brought me delicious
First,
steak.
like November 4th or whatever the first week in November is when we probably get it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with Mike and Sam. I think they just have to roll the dice of this game. I mean, I think it's one of those games that will speak to the Scorpio, and they could probably use that game as kind of a showcase for that console.
Yeah, I hope it fucking does awesome, dude.
Yeah, so I mean, they have to, and and they'll put a lot of marketing behind it. And they'll do that. I just don't think that. I mean, there's no other release window at this point. So
Crackdown is shot. Sorry, I'm eating a blueberry stone.
Chew, then swallow, then talk.
So
That doesn't
I was
sound
talking
right,
about
dude.
one. So what else do we think is going to be there?
There is a big new IP coming.
a big one.
Is this when we talk about Knights of the Aegis?
Assuming that's the real name and not the code name, yes.
That'll be the close of the show. And you know what? The description of it is very Order 1886-ish, isn't it?
It sounds awesome.
It does. It
Description
sounds
of the game sounds
super
incredible.
interesting. Yeah.
So for those who are not in the know, Knights of the Aegis is a rumored upcoming title exclusively developed, for Xbox / Windows 10 by Capcom Vancouver. And it takes place in 1973 New York, where you are inducted into a secret order of knights who keep the horrors of the world barely at bay. Vampires, werewolves, demons, Lovecraftian nightmares, that sort of thing. And it mixes gunplay with elemental magic. And it's described as an action-adventure game with RPG elements. Just to give anybody who's not aware of that.
I have heard it described from a gameplay perspective as their sort of, it's been in development for some time now. It's not like they were like, hey, let's make something like but they are now framing this as their answer to Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Sam, does that sound accurate? Does that line up with what you've heard?
Yeah, I just not in the sense of like, oh, well, we're going to take out Horizon Zero Dawn. More in terms of what Horizon Zero Dawn did for the Pro.
Exactly.
Knights of the Aegis is going to do for Scorpio. It's like, okay, holy crap.
Let's get a big open world third person game and make it look amazing in 4K. And yeah,
the Halo Gears Forza nonsense will be shut up. Is the idea behind it?
Finally. That makes me excited. I mean, seriously. I mean, I heard this last week, and I was like, okay, cool. This is the direction they need to go. New IP, new characters.
Well, I mean, a while back, I said on this very podcast, I said Halo and Gears need to die, and people got all upset. And I was like, no, they do. They need, like, not because they're not good, but because it's time for something new. And which is why I'm glad Sony's ending Uncharted. But apparently, aside from Lost Legacy, but there's going to be no more Nathan Drake games. And I'm fine with that. Give us something new. And I'm glad.
God of War has to be very new in order to survive. It can't be the same as the older games were.
Oh, I've got some information on God of War. We'll get into that.
Ooh, nuggets. More nuggets coming.
Yeah, no, I'll co-sign on what John's saying, because when John first said that, I know he got heat for it, because I've been saying the same thing too. And the whole, the Gears, Forza, Halo thing, it comes from a place. It's not like people are off their rockers for saying that. But it is time for them to start trying to move into a new era. Not that those properties don't have value, but you need to start moving beyond relics of a certain age of gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And those games are relics of a certain age. Master Chief is a relic of his time period. Marcus Phoenix, a relic of his time period. They were great for what they did, but gamer tastes have changed.
Those
start propelling them forward.
Just like those Field True Power ads are relics of the 90s. Yeah, I'm sorry, those ads are so bad. They're so bad.
But I think those properties have value. Those names carry weight. But Enrique and I talked about this. I said, what happened like with Halo 5 and kind of how I feel about Gears of War 4. Gears 4 is a fine game, but it did nothing to overly excite me. Like old Gears titles did. When Gears 1 through 3 dropped, that was like an event.
Dude, when the first Gears dropped, holy shit. I mean, you remember that?
I feel like the marketing wasn't there for Gears.
I played, man.
What's that mean?
I said the first Gears is all I played. The first 3 Gears was my life when those games came out.
Yeah, I mean, for some of the, for some people who maybe, too young to remember when the first Gears dropped, we were coming off of a high of Halo on Xbox Live, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here comes Gears, and I mean, holy shit! I mean, if you were running in a clan, you were flocking to Gears of War, right? And that's what we did, and it was such a wow experience. It's like it made you like, if you didn't have a 360, you got a 360 for Gears.
Yeah, you saw Gears.
It wasn't like you're getting Xbox for Halo anymore. You were getting Xbox for Halo and Gears. Probably more so Gears at the time. It was huge.
Yeah, when Gears was shown, you were like, if I have to sell blood and semen, I'm getting that game. And 360. I don't care.
Okay.
All right. With that in mind, let's move back to E3 predictions. Not that this isn't a very important conversation, but
sounds right. Do we got anything else from Microsoft?
Studio Gobo,
Fable.
Well, I was going to say my point was being that the Aegis game is definitely important, and I hope that it's awesome. That's the only point that I was trying to make with that. So yeah,
who said Fable? I think we're absolutely getting a Fable reboot.
I did.
Basically the Fable Legends assets are 100% being reused, which cleans up a lot of the development time. That's what I would say is happening. And Studio Gobo is a UK studio, and they are on a hiring spree right now.
Yep.
As long as it's better than Fable 3, I'm fine with it.
Fable 3.
All you have to do is make it online, man.
All you gotta do is
from the start.
All you gotta do is completely cut out Peter Molyneux.
After Fable 3, make it online.
I'd be surprised if there's not. I'd be surprised if if there's not some kind of online element, dude. I'll be surprised.
Probably like not like an MMO by any stretch of the imagination, but sort of like a shared world, like co-op
Sure.
experiences for dungeons. Which, hey, you know what? An RPG is somewhere that Microsoft has historically lacked. I'm down. That's cool.
Yep.
What about Bloodborne 2? Are we going to see that at
Yeah.
Microsoft's conference?
Probably not.
Damn, what? Can you
Let
imagine
me-
Sam's reaction?
Can you imagine the salt?
No, Sam.
I mean, I would- I would
Sam.
care.
Sam. The only reason I would care would be to watch you weep tears of joy.
I mean, I don't care. I don't care if Bloodborne 2 comes out on the Nintendo Switch or the 3DS. Just give it to me.
You just want to play it on that Elite controller, though. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, I have ways. I'll use my Elite controller with anything if I have to.
Oh boy.
I'll figure it out.
Interesting.
Anything else for Microsoft?
Well, what about so we all know about the partnership that Microsoft has with Sega, right? Or Sega announced that they have a partnership with Microsoft.
They
You
do.
know anything?
It may be too early for that, though.
And it's also not Ninja Gaiden from what I've heard. I've heard that's some bullshit.
It's not what?
I've heard it is Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Sega is partnering with them evidently for an exclusive game, but I think it's a little early to hear about that. That's probably next year material.
What do you guys think about the Ninja Gaiden rumor?
Oh, I thought you said I don't know why I associated Ninja Gaiden with Sega. I'm tired. I don't want to go.
Well, Shinobi.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I was thinking Shinobi. That's exactly what I was thinking. I know the Ninja Gaiden stuff is bullshit from what I've heard, but who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. But I have heard that that's garbage.
Yeah.
Sam is very quiet.
Ninja games have been like all over the place. Like more recently, a game was like completely trash. I think that's probably the worst game ever. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, it'd be sweet if it was coming back, but it had to be a return to form. You know what I mean? For me to even take any interest in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
Can he get that return to form without Itagaki?
That's a good question, man.
I don't know. It's
I don't
gonna be
know.
hard, man.
I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows?
Last thing I'll say for Microsoft, and I think we can then move on, unless anyone else has something else and I'm being presumptuous, is Cuphead, and it's available now.
Yeah.
better be.
We said that last year.
If Cuphead is not there, that game's in fucking trouble.
What about Below?
No, screw below. Oh,
I mean, that's like that game's in limbo.
Inferno's like,
That's floating off the clouds, man. It's
Inferno's
gone.
like, can we not even talk about that? Yeah, that is dreams.
B Money, you played that last year?
Yeah, man. It's gone.
It's terrible. It
It's in
needs
the
to
air.
be gone. Yeah, it needs to be gone.
I think so. Yeah, I think both Below for Xbox and Dreams for PlayStation are canceled. And if they're not, and if you don't hear about Below and Cuphead at this conference, I think they're dead. And if you don't hear about Dreams at Sony's conference, I think that's dead too.
Not to mention Deep Down. Throw that one in the
Oh,
pile.
that died years ago.
That died after the
That's been
launched.
dead.
Yeah.
That's going to be Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah. Dead. All right, so why don't we move to
Let's
unless
do
anyone
Sony. Let's do Sony, man. It all feels right following Microsoft and Sony.
Yeah, let's go to Sony. So Sony, as we know now, is going to basically follow the same format as they did last year, which I think is fantastic because I'm all about just looking at gameplay trailers and
More games.
Oh, like you can do on YouTube like every day? That's why I hate that model. I hate that model, man. I'll be the dissenter on this podcast about this, and I'll stick to
You
it.
were the thunder on this on TXR.
I hate that model. I
Why?
can't
They
stand
show
that.
games.
I can't
It
stand
means,
that.
well, I'll go ahead and tell you, it means you're not changing your PSN name. And it means that the idea, these rumors of PlayStation Plus getting revamped and more features is gone, if that's the case.
So here's what I think about Sony's conference. Seeing as how I'm the huge pony here, I think Sony
Nay
has.
for us, John.
I think
Nay.
that I will never do that. I think that Sony has the least to lose. I think they can afford to play it rather safe, and I think they will. I think obviously you're going to get some big games there, but I don't think you're going to see anything incredibly new.
It'll be.
Sorry,
I don't
Roger,
think- Sorry, go ahead.
I think that's where most people are making the mistake.
So I know a little bit about Sony's conference, and I know a little bit about God of War. God of War is an open world game.
Yep.
God of
Makes sense.
War is now open world, which infuriates me. actually, because I feel like we're living in a time where everything needs to be fucking open world now. Everything needs to be giant open world collectathon, and I don't think it works for every game, and I sure as shit don't think it works for God of War. So I think that's the wrong direction for that. I think I am 99% confident Sucker Punch's game will be there. Sam, I'm sorry, but you will not see Bloodborne 2 there.
Just let me cry in my corner, please.
There will be no Bloodborne 2. Instead, you will get Phantom Whale.
Which doing anything to the crying.
Well, hold on now. Phantom Whale is From Software's new IP. It is a PS4 exclusive. It is a Bloodborne style game with Souls combat with fast-paced action set in an Aztec aesthetic.
Hmm.
And it's
I haven't
focused.
heard about this.
And it's focused mostly on hand-to-hand combat.
Interesting.
Ooh, interesting.
With rudimentary weapons like clubs and spears and stuff.
And that allows them to pull in like Aztec or Mayan mythology of like Quetzalcoatl-esque jaguar,
Exactly. It's going to be very
alligator-esque monsters.
Exactly.
Which is cool.
It's going to be very so take the Lovecraftian what Lovecraft did for Bloodborne and you'll get a sense of what Aztec mythology will do for Phantom Whale. Sacrifice will be a large portion of the game. You know how like I don't want to say too much, but think of it this way. Like you remember how in the Dark Souls games you were crushing humanity.
Yep.
In Bloodborne, you were using what was it you were using in Bloodborne? Blood dregs. Think of a similar aesthetic for the Aztecs. What was a big part of Aztec culture? It was ritual sacrifice, right? So take that, take that into consideration. And Sam's right. There's a ton of mythology to pull from. There's a ton of, and the game is going to be dark. It's going to be a dark, bloody game, a Bloodborne style game set in an Aztec universe, and it sounds incredibly appealing to me. What else? I think you can easily expect to see. I know I'm talking a lot, but I know a little bit about the conference. I think you can. You can expect to see a new IP from Square, and also Final Fantasy 15 episode Prompto. Uncharted: The Lost Legacy will have a big presence there, which is so surprised nobody. Days Gone, and either Days Gone or God of War will get a release date for December.
Well, Spider-Man.
I hope it stays.
I'm sorry. Days Gone, Spider-Man, or God of War will get a release date for December, and I think it's probably Spider-Man. Well, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, the movie's coming out this year.
I know it does make sense, but
Spider-Man will have a huge showing, and it's going to be fucking awesome. Spider-Man.
So, Mike, you're not excited about the release date?
For Spider-Man, I'd rather out of those three, I'd put Spider-Man last on my anticipation.
Oh no!
Yeah, I would.
Mike,
I would.
Oh, Spider-Man.
No,
man.
No.
I don't want to fall into that trap of being like, oh wow, let's just praise the game because of the developer, publisher, whatever. I don't want to. I don't want to fall into that trap. I'm more excited for Days Gone and God of War for sure.
Well, I also like Spider-Man. I'm a comic book guy. Spider-Man is my favorite character, and knowing that in fucking Insomniac, because I played Sunset Overdrive, and I thought it was I still think it's one of the finest games on Xbox, if not the finest game. And so to imagine that kind of gameplay with Spider-Man, like, oh shit, son.
I'm kind of like John. I'm a huge Spider-Man original comic and then the Ultimate Comics nerd, so I'm definitely very excited for that. I'm a little iffy on the release date if it ends up being there, but we'll see.
I mean, we'll see. I've heard numerous things. But I have heard, Sam, and I'm sure you've probably heard similar, that one of those three games is getting release dated this year. Now
we know Sony is infamous for their delays. We got to keep that in mind here.
Sure, but I mean, God of War and Spider-Man, at the very least, I know are further along than people think they are. Especially God of War.
So wait, John, did you say that God of War gets a release date this year?
No, well, it is possible, but it's far more likely that God of War is March 2018, as God of War games traditionally are. So I think Spider-Man hits this year. What else do I think you'll see there? Obviously, Destiny 2 will have a huge presence, and you're going to see some timed exclusive content, which I think is fucking garbage.
Just let it be shaders and guns, not strikes. That's all I ask.
I have said it
We can deal
before, and I will say it again. I don't care what console I play primarily on. I will never, ever, ever support third-party exclusivity, be it timed or otherwise. I can't stand that shit. It's not fair. It's not good for gamers. It's not fair to gamers. And by the way, real quick, speaking of that, revisiting Microsoft for just a second, there have been rumors being spread that Borderlands 3 is a timed exclusive for Xbox, and absolutely is not.
The fact that Phil doesn't like doing those, and Tomb Raider was something he regrets, and not happening.
Well, and especially after what happened to Tomb Raider, you're not going to see third-party exclusivity for much of anything for a while.
Yeah.
Marketing rights, I can 100% believe.
Marketing rights, absolutely, but timed exclusivity for Borderlands 3, no sir.
Right.
What else for Sony?
What about Detroit?
If Detroit's not there, that game's in trouble. I haven't, and the thing is, I haven't heard anything about Detroit being there. So I don't know. Take that as you will.
What about NAC 2?
NAC 2 will be there.
Yeah. It has to be there.
No.
You know what? The good thing about this conference, Mike, I know you don't like the Sony conference. We don't have to listen to Mark Cerny talk.
Yes, well, that's positive. Yes,
I like Mike Cerny, but man, that guy just puts me to sleep.
Yeah,
Enrique, you just jinxed us all. He's going to narrate the NAC 2 presentation.
he is. He's going to come out there and just root it.
And I think you can probably expect The Last of Us 2 to close the show.
Ooh.
I have heard from two people.
I don't know about that.
I've heard from two different people.
Not that it won't happen. I'm just not sure if that's a good idea.
I have heard. I mean, if you close it with gameplay, it is.
B-Money, what were you going to say, man?
I don't think it's a good idea. I think they should hold off to PSX if they're going to show anything else.
I would agree with you.
That
I would
game's
agree
not
with you.
coming
But I have heard that The Last of Us will probably close the show. And I have not heard this, but I think it's a safe bet. I think you'll see the Resident Evil 7 Not a Hero DLC there.
Makes sense. Not a Hero was delayed because Capcom said that, quite frankly, it just wasn't up to snuff at the time. So,
which is good because if I'm playing as Chris Redfield, I want that shit to be good.
Right, and they said that they're not going back to the drawing board, but that they're expanding it. They said after the reception to Resident Evil 7, they want to make sure the fans are getting quality content. And the fact that it's free and that they're willing to do this, that speaks volumes to me.
Exactly. And since Resident Evil is so closely aligned with the PlayStation brand, I think it's and it's time. You know what I mean? It's time. I think you're going to see the RE7 DLC there. That's what I think. But I have not heard anything to that effect. That is a simple prediction from a simple man. I've talked enough though. I've talked too much about Sony. I want to give somebody else a chance to talk.
You think we see a Monster Hunter announcement?
Nope.
No.
Nope. Absolutely not.
Because that's the big thing going for the Switch right now is Monster Hunter XX.
Which is exactly why you're not going to see an announcement on Sony stage. Not going to happen.
Yeah,
and it's going to sell like crap on PS4. By the way, that is a Nintendo title through and through.
And we'll definitely see something from Sucker Punch. I think you were saying, John.
Yes, I think Sucker Punch's game is going to be there, and I can tell you right now, it is not Infamous. It is not Infamous related. So I am very interested to see exactly what that is.
Interesting. That is interesting.
I wish they would bring back Cole McGrath, but that's probably never going to happen. So
what I want to know is, are they going to bring the orchestra back?
No.
Randall Thor 19 or Randall Thor 19. Geez, I'm calling him Randall Thor 19. Rand in chat says yes. Monster Hunter will be on Sony stage. I'm 99% confident it will not be.
Okay, so we need a bet to happen right now. We need to mark this.
I'll get with Rand in the DMs and
there's got to be
we'll set something up.
There's got to be a wager here.
We'll set something up. And of course you'll see your indie sizzle reel as you always.
That's a given.
Yeah.
That's a given.
You think we'll see anything VR related?
Yes.
No.
I think I hope not too, but I think there will be one or two VR games there. And when I say VR related, it'll be like it'll be like, hey, enhance your experience with the VR fucking experience for whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think you're going to see like a big VR presence. I think you're going to see supplementary shit, anecdotal shit. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. I'm on that train.
They show one VR title. They'll definitely show one. They still are committed to. If they don't, then people can just say they're throwing it to the wayside.
I'll tell you what, I'm playing freaking Wipeout the Omega
gonna be-
Collection right now.
Makes sense to me.
B money, and this would be amazing in VR.
Oh, I bet, man.
It might make you want to fucking vomit, but it would be.
Right. I was just gonna say that. I mean,
Yeah.
And Farpoint has received some great reception, and that was like one of the first big top VR beyond like Resident Evil or whatever. So I think they at least should show one. Can you guys hear me?
You're bottom,
a little bit.
But yeah, anybody else got anything for any Sony predictions? I feel like I took the whole Sony conversation. I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's all good, man. You had some information. You know, it's all good, man. I mean,
I think theirs is the safest. They can play it the safest. And this is not a disparaging comment by any stretch of the imagination. It's E3 2016 Redux.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing per se. We get to know a lot more about the games they announced, and there will be one or two surprises. Just don't expect surprise after surprise, and you'll be in for a good conference.
Yeah, no, there will be nothing on the level of like, hey, Final Fantasy VII Remake, or
or Shenmue.
There's going to be nothing like that.
Yeah.
well,
Speaking of those, they won't be there.
I talk about the HD collection. Yeah, everybody hoping for the Shenmue 1 and 2 HD collection. Y'all need to check that shit at the door.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Yeah. In fact, I don't think Shenmue at all is going to be there at all. Which makes me wonder what the state of that game is.
I don't know. Mike, what were you going to say, man?
I was gonna say, you've been hearing, we've talked about all the games they're gonna show, and we know it's just gonna be, people sitting with their popcorn watching a movie. But being kind of optimistic, I think that maybe they'll show something feature related. I know Sony doesn't have that kind of reputation, but I know I've been seeing a lot of stuff online about potentially PS Plus adding some more worthwhile features to its subscription model, such as maybe some sort of PS Now inclusion. Or something like that. Do you think they revamp any of that kind of stuff, or do you think
change my fucking name?
Yeah,
please just change my Shuhei, please.
I don't think it's going to happen. And if they announce it, it'll probably happen after the conference.
Yeah. And I granted that's probably not an E3 announcement. That's like a Gamescom or like a PSX announcement. And the fact that people will be so happy about it is really sad.
People will lose their minds. They will celebrate in the streets.
Oh, it'll be like God of War. It'll be like God of War. Woo! I'm like, okay. Finally, I don't have to be a big tit anime lover anymore.
Oh, jeez.
It's okay, John. Let it all out.
Yeah, right.
I caveat for anybody who might not know, that is not my PSN name. Just want to point that out.
Yes, it's not. We can say that. All right. Unless anyone else has anything else to say about it. Unless anyone has anything else to say about Sony, we'll go ahead and move on to the big N, Nintendo.
All 30 glorious minutes.
So all I got to say about Nintendo is Metroid Prime.
I don't know anymore, man.
Mario's
so, man.
Don't say that, John, please.
I don't know anymore, man.
I don't think we see Metroid unless it's coming out this year, because they pretty much said that this show is basically for all the games that are coming out this year.
Mostly, they said mostly for. So I think you'll get something that's coming out next year, like Smash Brothers, for example. I think you'll get Smash Brothers, and I think that's a March 2018 game.
Mm-hmm.
It's sure as shit not this year because you got fucking Pokken Tournament DX coming out.
Yep.
Whoa, no. Hey, let's be fair on them. You got Sun and Moon Ultra for 3DS.
3DS.
And Gold and Silver, like remaster, whatever, coming to Virtual Console for 3DS.
So here's the thing about Nintendo, right? Like, I'm afraid Nintendo is going to just Nintendo this shit up.
And that's not good.
And I need Nintendo to be on fucking point. Because I love my Switch, and I want games to play on it. And I really want fucking Metroid, and I get it. And somebody pointed out, their directs are always 30 minutes, and the last direct in 30 minutes, they turned out 24 games. They announced 24 games. So, and I was like, oh, okay, you know what? That's a good point. Maybe I'm just being hyperbolic. Maybe I'm worried about nothing at all. But it's Nintendo, and I am worried.
Well, I don't know. I'm expecting Metroid, but maybe not Metroid Prime. I think Nintendo realizes that on the Switch. I mean, we've seen a lot of side-scrolling games be successful on there. Wonder Boy I think is extremely successful. Blaster Master, you can argue how good that is, but that
Blaster Master is fucking fantastic. Yeah.
I think it's great as well, and I think it's been very successful. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see a very souped up Metroid side scroller, a la the old days Super Metroid, etc. Like the Metroid games are on Game Boy Advance. Potentially, I mean, this is a huge reach, but I would love to see like Castlevania side scroller, a la the old NES days.
Oh my God.
Stuff like that. I know that may not come, but if you think of what's been successful on the Switch and what they've shown off, and people love those experiences on the Switch, it's side scrollers, man. Like Shovel Knight, Wonder Boy, Blaster Master, like those things just play so well and feels like they translate to mobile so well. I think we could see stuff like that.
I don't even care if it's Metroid Prime or a 2D Metroid. I just want a fucking Metroid.
Yeah.
That's all I want. I want Metroid. And I'm just so nervous I'm not going to get it.
I, for one, would be very okay with Castlevania. That would just be fantastic.
Yeah, and I think that I'm telling you, man, I just think that speaks so well to the to the audience and to what is successful in that system. And yeah, I mean, does it not translate as well necessarily to docked mode? Yes. But I mean, look at some of the stuff they've been pushing, that's been taking advantage of both docked and handheld mode. It's all great stuff. So why not release something that caters specifically to the handheld mode to get more people to take it out and do what they anticipated? Take it out of the house, game on the go. I don't know. I see it honestly.
Take it out to play basketball on a basketball court.
That's right.
I hope you're right, man.
Yeah.
No, I'm still hoping for a Metroid too, but being that I'm a Wii U owner and I wanted the same thing for that. With Nintendo, you just kind of have to definitely play the wait and see. You just never know what they're going to do.
Yeah. I hope it's not like Pikmin, or I want them to thrive on IPs that are universally recognized. Now, granted, Pikmin has a following, but I want it to be like we've discussed Metroid, we've discussed Castlevania. I want it to be even if it was like Donkey Kong Country, man, I want it to be something that people are going to be excited about and that is an iconic.
You know what people would be excited about, Mike? People would actually be excited about Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze ported to the Switch, because not many people got the chance to play it on Wii U.
Yeah, bring it.
Oh, John, they could take all their Wii U games.
Which is why that's the thing. It's like that guy from Forbes wrote that article that I retweeted the other day. It's like, seriously, Nintendo needs to stop porting games. I'm like, first of all, they've ported how many games? Fucking one.
Right.
From the Wii U. And two, no, they don't, because the Wii U sold like asshole. And
exactly.
As a result, a vast majority of the people who are buying Switches now they will have never played those games. As the audience grows, the amount of people who never played those wonderful games gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So yeah, release those fucking games. It doesn't cost much to do. And like, I would love to play Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, because I never owned a Wii U. I would love to play the wonderful 101. I would love to play Bayonetta 2. I never played it because I didn't have a Wii U.
All fantastic game. They have. I mean, people wanted to get into the list wars and exclusive game, but they had, with the Wii U, so many like top-notch like titles.
I mean, isn't that interesting that the Wii U still did terrible, even in light of how they had such an incredible lineup?
And that's the thing, is that, like, which would kind of boggle my mind. I mean, that just tells you how bad Nintendo's messaging is, because we can sit here, fanboys can argue back and forth about what's better, Microsoft exclusives or Sony, but I'll tell you what, we all know who's got the best exclusive stable. Pound for pound, it's fucking Nintendo.
Absolutely.
I mean, you don't get more or better exclusives than you do from Nintendo. Rand's probably twisting in the wind right now in chat. John, I can't believe you're saying that, but it's true. And which is why I want Nintendo more than Sony or Microsoft. I want them to do well this E3, because I feel I prefer a three-way race as opposed to a two-way race. And I love my Switch. I love my Switch more than my PS4. And it's right now. It's my favorite console this gen, hands down. The Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, you want them out there because we've all seen what complacency can do for Sony
I
and
mean, dude,
Microsoft.
like, I can't stress this enough. Like, if you don't have a Switch, last night I was playing. I've got about 90 hours in Breath of the Wild now, and I was playing Breath of the Wild until about 11 o'clock, and I undocked it, and it was right there on my screen. I went up and played it in bed for another hour and a half, and it looked the same as it did on my television. And I was like, "Fuck, how is this possible?" But as far as like board games for Nintendo, obviously Super Mario Odyssey will take up a large portion. Large meaning a few minutes, and you're only got 30 minutes to play with. I really hope they don't waste any time on ARMS because ARMS comes out next week.
Right. Yeah, I don't think they will.
Yeah, I don't think they will either.
Don't waste any fucking time on ARMS. I think you will see Splatoon there, although I don't know because we've had two big Splatoon directs, so I don't know if we will. If we don't see ARMS or Splatoon there, I think the odds of Metroid being there are greater.
You think they talk about Splatoon in the capacity of the online multiplayer? You know, show off a little bit of that stuff with the mobile platform and stuff.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that. Yeah. I mean, I think Monster Hunter for Switch will be there. I think. You know what I really hope is there, and y'all can laugh all you want, but Animal Crossing.
Oh, yeah, for
I
sure.
don't laugh at that at all, man. Animal Crossing does very well for them.
Well, I told somebody
it's
working.
about time for Animal Crossing anyway.
I really wanted Animal Crossing. He was like, queer. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? But
You aren't a man. You aren't a man until you play Animal Crossing. I'm sorry.
Dude, Animal Crossing doesn't build character; it reveals it.
That's right.
And I'm sorry, but I mean, I'm not sorry. I mean, the Animal Crossing games are just fucking fun. They're just fun games. And I would not be surprised, guys, to see Stardew Valley for Switch.
Ooh, okay.
I wouldn't either. That should definitely happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Could be.
They did announce that it was coming, though, right?
lost beat.
Yeah.
Bees. I heard him a little bit. He sounded like he's.
Didn't they announce that Stardew Valley was coming to the Switch?
Oh, is that already announced? I missed that if it was.
Oh, I don't know.
Yes. Yeah. Stardew Valley is absolutely coming to the Switch. Yep.
Okay.
That's not correct.
Didn't they announce Stardew Valley?
They did, but I would expect that. I would expect you might actually see it there at E3 just to drum up hype. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe you won't. I mean, I could be wrong. That's just a guess.
Yeah.
But you know what? I would really like to start. I don't know if we'll get this or not, but I would like to see some classic Nintendo IPs brought back at E3. Maybe like Punch Out or F-Zero or Star Fox. You know, I mean, there are so many Nintendo staples to choose from. You know, and I really, I want them to bring some of the old stuff back. And I would also like to see some RPGs. I think you'll see, hopefully, whatever that Octopath Traveler is, just change the fucking name because it's stupid. That's the worst fucking name for anything I've ever heard. Yeah, Project Octopath Traveler. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. I think we'll absolutely see Xenoblade Chronicles 2 there with a December release date. That's coming out this year. That is absolutely 110% coming out this year.
Nice. That's on my buy list for the Switch.
What about Mario Party? Huh?
I'd rather see Mario Golf.
Mario Golf, Party, Tennis, bring all those games.
Take your pick. Mario RPG.
I hate golf, and I'll fuck. Oh, dude. Oh, shit, dude. The fucking Rabbids game.
Oh yeah, the Rabbids game. That's right. I forgot about that.
Mario Rabbids Battle Kingdom. What the fuck do you guys think of that?
Who knows what to think?
Works
Come on. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a turn-based RPG.
I'm down.
With Rabbids.
Rabbids.
So like your party members are Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Princess Peach, and the other 4 characters are Rabbids dressed up as those characters. Which, okay, whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I would be very interested to see exactly how that's going to work.
Yeah, almost like a spiritual successor to Mario RPG a little bit.
I love that. And of course, I don't think we're going to see Virtual Console there at all.
That would be a shame. I was hoping to see that.
Nope.
Nope, not going to happen.
Yeah.
Do keep in mind we need to fit in Skyrim on Switch in here.
I think that'll be the
true.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be at Nintendo's conference, man, or not their conference, but their direct. I think that is absolutely a Bethesda thing. I mean, why wouldn't it be? You know, like
Yeah.
that'll just free Nintendo up to do whatever they want at their direct. And I think you're going to see your multiplayer stuff, by the way, like ARMS and Splatoon. I think that's going to be at the Treehouse, which immediately follows the E3 spotlight.
Right.
That's where you do that.
Mm-hmm.
Who here doesn't have a Switch, by the way?
I don't have one yet.
Okay, so who here is an unevolved caveman and doesn't have a Switch? Go buy a Switch, Eric.
I'm planning to.
Yeah,
My Sam doesn't have one.
Well, hold on. Do Eric and B Money? Do you guys? Both of you guys don't have Switches?
No, B has one.
B money has one.
B has one, but Eric doesn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Eric, you don't know what you're missing, man.
I was going to say my follow-up question to that would be for the people who don't have it, like, what do you guys need to see from this to kind of convince you to go out and grab one? Or do you need to be convinced, or is it just a stock issue or money issue?
4K.
Yeah, I don't need necessarily convinced. There are a couple of other things I kind of want to see because, like I said, I was there for Wii U. You know,
4K.
so
Considering that
Yes.
Nintendo's games are 99% of what I'll be playing on it.
But no, I mean, I'm a Nintendo head, so I'm gonna be there eventually. Doesn't really, So yeah, it's just mostly for me. Like right now, it's just like like the money side of it, just things going on business wise and stuff like that. So
Yeah, but is there something at E3 that if you see it, like what will you see there that will be like, oh, screw rent this week, I'm getting a Switch.
My daughter can eat next week.
she's like, she's not that hungry. No, Metroid for sure. They definitely get up there and finally answer the call of Metroid.
We've got some canned corn in the pantry.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Jeez.
Daddy, I'm hungry. What am I going to eat?
No, but Eric, I get what you're saying though, because
Mushrooms.
going to Wii U,
Mushrooms.
like I didn't have a Wii U, so for me it's like fuck yeah, like I'm gonna get that's why I got a Switch.
Mm-hmm.
You could say that you switched.
But like I said, I have the Wii U, but right now there's nothing that I need that I can't get on something else. I know, look, the handheld part of it, jumping from your main screen to the online, to the handheld. That is exactly what they wanted for the Wii U, I should say. So I'm glad that they finally nailed that.
Yeah.
But Breath of the Wild is on Wii U, not wildly different than the Switch version. And I tell you what, if the Switch version was that much more than the Wii U version, that probably would have pushed me.
Hey,
if it was hands down the definitive, like don't even waste time with the Wii U version, then I probably would have made that leap. But when Mario drops, and then if they announce Metroid, that's definitely gonna like propel me. I just didn't see any to really run and get it yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I just realized the time. I gotta get going, so I gotta be up early in the morning. But enjoy the rest of the E3 talk. And Mike, always a pleasure, man.
Yeah, always, man.
Yeah, man.
And we'll Enrique, you're gonna be streaming some E3 with us, right?
Yes, I will be joining you guys, man.
Okay, cool.
Hey, John, I might jump in if you guys have room for me there.
Oh well, we'll always have room. It's a party.
Right,
But we'll be streaming every conference, and providing our own unique brand of commentary. So everybody in chat is welcome to head on over to SDGC, Superform Gamescast, this weekend for every conference, and we will be streaming live from our channel. But yeah, anyway, guys, take it easy. I got to get out of here. And Sam, I just saw your DM. The answer is yes.
Cool. Hit me up.
All right, guys.
Later, John.
Later.
Take care.
All right, see you, man.
See ya.
All right, cool. So actually, it's funny. We're getting ready to wrap up anyway. So anyone else have anything else to say about Nintendo? Their E3 conference?
No, I think we pretty much dropped it. But the thing we talked about at the beginning was the 30 minutes. That is actually the last thing I worry about with them. Because they are
That's actually a very good point, Eric.
They're very good at being concise. They don't waste your time that often, except for the Switch reveal was kind of all over the place. But
and puppets.
Hey,
Are they bringing the puppets back?
No, the puppets. That's a wrap. The puppets weren't that bad.
That's B Money's favorite part of the Nintendo conference.
Man, get out of here.
Hey, that's whimsical
He's like, don't you put
Nintendo.
that evil over me,
Right.
Sam.
That's whimsical Nintendo, man. But yeah, but they're good about continued coverage. Like they really hammer home like the Treehouse stuff. So they're like, we don't need to waste a lot of time showing you a ton of here because you'll get to see it over there.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, you know, they'll throw out 20 games in those 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then sit back and crack their knuckles.
Yeah. I got to be honest with you guys. This is probably the most excited I've been for an E3 in a long time.
A lot of moving parts, man.
Yeah, a lot of that has to do with Nintendo kind of being, at least for me, kind of being back in the game, kind of back in the thick of things a little bit with the Switch. You know, but owning all three platforms, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch. I mean, I'm in gaming heaven right now. Like, there's gonna be so much content that's gonna be dropping on all three consoles that I'm just like I don't know what to do myself. You know.
Yeah. I wonder if
problem to have.
I wonder if Nintendo being back in the game, as you say, Enrique, I wonder if that's putting pressure on the other two at all. And I know it, for all intents and purposes, they're not going to catch up anytime soon, obviously. But I wonder if them being back in the game has entered the minds of execs over at Sony and Microsoft and made them want to up the E3 game a little bit. Because, personally, I hate what Direct does and I hate what PlayStation does because – like I want to see the conference be hyped by people like pushing the product. Like I'm very big on the conference, presentation. I don't really like just watching a reel, but at the same time, like we've noticed that, like you guys have alluded to, Nintendo has been very successful at these directs, and Sony was obviously very successful last year at their E3. So, maybe I'm just need to get with the times and realize that, and Microsoft has to get with the times a little bit and realize, now that there are two players that are opposing you, you probably need to smarten up a little bit.
Yeah, I think if what happens, like what John's predicted on this show, that Switch is going to take MPD moving forward. I think if that happens, and I think it's a big if, I think that's gonna the other two are gonna take notice. They have to.
Yeah.
Especially with Microsoft essentially dropping a newer piece of hardware later in the year. But look, it's great for the industry,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the exciting part for me. Like it's funny. I was telling Eric, I gave 126 hours of my life to Persona 5, and I went and hopped back into Rise, and I'm loving Rise, by the way. It's a shame. To me, that's a shame that game's not getting a sequel.
Yep. Absolutely.
But yeah, I just there's so much content. The backlog for me is real, and it's going to be even worse. Later this year. But that's what excites me. I mean, I'm telling you guys, I just haven't been this hyped for an E3 for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, like I said, you want them all firing. You want them firing on all cylinders. Everybody. You want everybody, feeding into the gaming ecosystem. You don't want anyone out there by themselves thinking that they got it.
No, absolutely not.
And no one will be ignored, like with Nintendo with the Wii U for 4+ years. I mean, they were essentially ignored. Like Nintendo kind of like focused their shift back on the 3DS. And if you were in the handheld market, you pay attention to Nintendo. And if you weren't in the handheld market, like a lot of us, you ignored them. So now that none of these people we've talked about, even like EA and Ubi, like none of them are going to be ignored. Everyone's going to have eyes out for all of these conferences we talked about tonight. And you see people jumping back into the conference game. Like, for instance, Devolver Digital. We didn't even talk about them tonight. We probably won't. Like, they're having their own conference. Like, I think EA's having their own conference, but offsite. I think companies are gonna think a little more about getting back to the roots and being competitive at these conferences again. And I think E3 is going to have kind of a resurgence a little bit, like Enrique is kind of suggesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which would be good because we've often talked about kind of E3, whether or not it was going to be a thing anymore.
Right.
With things like PAX now and PlayStation Experience and some of the bigger developers doing things offsite. Yeah, I think that I agree with you, Mike. I think that this could be maybe that that shift and momentum for that conference.
Mhm.
You know, yeah, and you're right. We didn't talk about Devolver Digital, and they're smaller developers, so
It's hard to predict because they haven't done
Yeah.
it before. So we're kind of just gonna have to
Yeah.
play the wait and see kind of approach and talk about it next week. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. It's funny you say that they've never done it before. I remember when Bethesda got into it, you know,
Yeah.
and they had never done it before.
Now they're the vets. Now they're taking pole position. They always go first, you know what I
Right.
mean? But not anymore. They got pole position taken from them. Power play.
That is true. That's
So-
true. But
Power player cooperation.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I'm not.
That was a
hunch.
juicy little drop. Yeah, that was too juicy for you.
Yeah, that
Westerners
was-
to
that
ignore,
was-
so you have to expound on that.
I just think I think Bethesda always wants to go first, and I just find it amazing that they were so willing to just give it up. I just find it very, very convenient.
Wow. Way to drop that on us, Sam.
Interesting.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying that's my thought process.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Some nuggets. All right. Well, gentlemen, does anyone else have anything else they want to comment on regarding E3?
nah, man. I just think this is probably one of the biggest E3s and most important E3s in a long time for a lot of different reasons. You know.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Sam and Mike, you guys will be out there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, playing some of these games, going to some of these conferences. So enjoy and safe travels.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Will
guys.
do. Yeah, I mean, personally, I would like to see it move away from LA. I don't even think LA is really that nice. B Money, you got to agree with me on that, right? LA, not really.
Man, do you see how many homeless people live in LA?
Yeah, no kidding.
It's
Coming from
ridiculous.
Boston,
Like,
it's
it is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Like, because going to E3 was like my first time, like actually going to LA, like as an adult by myself. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
to walk around the city and like you see it on like TV and movies, like, oh, like LA's got to be like super amazing. And when you get there, it's like,
Nope.
wow, are these homeless people just chilling on the street? Like, what is going on?
LA's dirty.
Yeah, it was definitely an eye opener, man, and it surprised me a little bit. I would like to see it like move every couple of years, man. Just
Definitely.
get in different locations, allow more people to go to it. I mean, for me, like living on the East Coast or Midwest, it costs a lot to travel all the way to LA.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Just for those few days. So I would love to make it easier for everyone to kind of make their way to it.
It was in Atlanta at one point.
Right.
Yeah.
Years and years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be great if it like traveled. If it went like different cities like for every year.
Yeah, because I mean, most of the conferences are hosted at different theaters and shows and stuff. Every city has that. You know what I mean? You could, the LA Convention Center, as long as you find a big enough city that has a convention center, you know what I mean, held there as well. So, I mean, there's definitely different places they can do it. I'm sure the LA Convention Center definitely has their bid on it to kind of lock that down because, I mean, what it costs to eat there or whatever, you know what I mean? They definitely get in your pockets for that. But I think they definitely should move it just to appeal to more people. I think, that's how you get more people engaged. And I think that's one of the ways they can help E3 thrive. Otherwise, I mean, like Mike was saying, everything is just a video show anyway. So if it continues to go that route, then what would be the point?
Yeah. That's appeal. That's kind of it's the appeal of PAX really, different locations. Yeah,
absolutely.
And Mike, I will be in PAX. I'll be at PAX East next year.
Yeah, we'll be living it up, bro.
Yeah, a couple IPAs, some video games.
More than a couple, man. More than a couple.
All right.
Yeah, I gotta get out to PAX East too, man.
Please do. Please do.
PAX East is a great show, man. And next year should be very interesting because Scorpio will be out at the time. Switch will have a year under its belt. So it should be a very interesting show at PAX East.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. Great point. So, all right, gentlemen, on that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap up our E3 prediction show. So I want to thank everyone in the live chat for joining us. As always, great conversation in the live chat. It's always positive, festive. And we can always count on Chicken Spaghetti to hit us with the Fangabangas
Nice.
consistently in the live chat. So, Chicken, you got to make a T-shirt that says Thangabangers. You just have to do that. Copyright that, man. Or someone else does.
I told him that's a great podcast name, man.
It is. Yeah, that's catchy. I like that.
Chicken said E3 should be down south in Arkansas. Gizzards, beer, sweetsy, plenty of diabetes to go around.
Yeah, man. Oh,
Oh man,
That is hilarious.
you guys want to come to South Beach?
Miami would be fun, man.
hell yeah!
Miami would be fun.
Let's go.
We're getting
But,
a lot of trouble in South Beach, man.
Yes,
Gotta be
sir.
careful.
Oh man, I got stories, man. Eric, you been to Mansion?
I have been to Mansion.
Yeah, I got stories there, man. But
It's been a long time, but yeah, I've been to Mansion.
yeah, it's another conversation. But yeah, everyone, thank you in the live chat. There was a couple new folks there. If you haven't done so yet, give us a thumbs up and subscribe as well. And Mike, man, hey, great having you on again, man. Thank you.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I said, if it fits in my schedule, I'd love to be a guest on the show. This is one of my favorite podcasts to listen to, and even when Enrique does it solo and rants against Xbox for about an hour and a half, I'm still listening. But yeah,
That wasn't an anti Xbox rant.
kind of was, but there were very good points made, and if people watch that and you misunderstood, Enrique took that stance because he was one of the original Xbox players. He loved Xbox up until recently, and a lot of people are feeling like that. That's why this E3 is very interesting. That's why we said in this podcast that Microsoft's really the one to watch, and it's not just because of the Scorpio. It's because of the change in direction of the gaming audience. You got to play to this, got to play to the audience and capture them back, and it's not with power. So this can't be just a power play for Microsoft. And someone like Enrique, who's been putting 130 or whatever plus hours, like you just said, in Persona 5, that's a PlayStation game. And if that were on Xbox, maybe he wouldn't feel like he has against them recently, So I suggest everyone goes watch that rant, by the way, because that was a good friggin' rant. I mean, that was like a long ass rant, and it was good. So I enjoyed it, and I enjoy the show. So yeah, keep up the good work, guys.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. But real quick with regard to that rant, I mean, like you're right. I mean, so like I have a different perspective than a lot of people, because I really was there day one.
Yeah,
with the Xbox when it dropped. The OG
Day
Xbox,
zero, you beta tested Xbox Live, right?
I beta tested Xbox Live. I have a T-shirt. They gave us a T-shirt. They gave us this orange clear memory card. They gave us
memory card.
Yeah, memory card, right?
Memory card, yeah.
Yeah, they gave us a headset, and they gave us a CD disc with Revolt and NFL Fever.
Ooh.
Yeah. And dude, I was there day one. And I'll never forget. So Lemieux, I don't know if you guys saw Lemieux 66 in the live chat. He's like, "Hey, what's up, bitches?" I think you replied to him like,
"Yes." Yeah,
I've known Lemieux for 15 years. I met him on Xbox Live as a beta tester.
Mm-hmm.
So I have people that I mean, the clan that I used to run with on Xbox Live, on the OG Xbox Live or OG Xbox, we used to meet up, man, in the summertime for barbecues.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was there day one. I remember when Microsoft was pushing the envelope, not just in terms of like how we experience content or interact with our friends and whatnot, but they were pushing like content. I mean, they were trying different types of games. They were taking risks, and that's why I'm frustrated, because I don't feel like they do that anymore. And when they were doing that, they were really delivering some good games. There's a lot of games I don't think a lot of people played on OG Xbox, like Brute Force.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good game. Crimson Skies.
Yeah.
Mech Assault.
Jade
and those,
Empire.
huh?
Jade Empire, right? I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
what about
goodness.
Jade Empire? Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Plenty of people played Knights of the Old Republic. Come on.
What's that?
Said plenty of people played Knights of the Old Republic. That wasn't niche by any stretch of the imagination.
No, it wasn't. But it was an exclusive game to the Xbox. I mean, it was, and for its time, for that game to be on that console was a big deal, because that was like kind of like that was kind of like a PC Western RPG, And,
Right.
and at that time, you didn't get those kinds of RPGs on the console. That's why Morrowind was such a big game for the OG Xbox. Like, that was huge for that game to be on that platform because you didn't get those types of games traditionally on consoles. It just didn't happen. If you were playing RPGs on a console, they were JRPGs. You know, so it was just a different time, and that's why Mike. That's why I kind of went on that rant. You know,
No, I understand. No, I completely understand. Believe me, it was a good rant. I think it was a good rant. I'm an Xbox guy first. It was a good fucking rant. I'm just saying, that how you feel, Enrique, is how a lot of people feel, and why a lot of the diehards are down on Xbox. And it's really telling that a man who runs his own podcast gave out a PSN code tonight after gaming on an Xbox for like 15 years. Like, these are the people that are so invested in your brand that are willing to defend you, through and through. And then, it's come to a point where these people aren't just going to blindly, defend you anymore. I mean, Xbox is trending some, on thin ice here. And they got to change their direction. They've got to not make this Scorpio thing as much as a power play as people expect them to make it. That's why a lot of people who aren't Xbox people aren't, really excited about Scorpio. I mean, look at what Megative was talking about in the podcast. He isn't super excited about Scorpio, even though it's going to be, bring PC-esque power to console gaming. It's because, like we all said, Microsoft's not taking any risk. Not as many games as they should be, innovating with. So, I don't know.
Yeah, no, and like I said in the rant, I think I may have mentioned that for me, the PlayStation 4 reminds me a lot of the PlayStation 2, and that was actually the last time that I really spent a lot of time playing on a Sony platform.
Yeah, and I didn't go. I was not there for the rant, but.
You missed it, man.
No, I got to go back and listen to it, but we've talked about this before, and I think Sam, I've explained this to you. Like, I've always been a multi-console owner, but for a while there, PS1, PS2, I was a PlayStation dominant gamer, and then when I went into Xbox, like I wasn't there day one for OG, but I think it was like a year in, I picked one up, and it was like immediate love because it reminded me in a lot of ways of what I missed with Dreamcast. Well, I had a Dreamcast and I love Dreamcast, still one of my favorite consoles ever, but it was like that continuation of what made that console great. And it's like they were fighting so hard for mindshare and to prove everybody wrong, because when they announced that they were doing an Xbox, people laughed at them.
Right.
And they were hungry. Like everything they wanted to do was that fight. And then 360, early parts of the 360, the first, that hunger was like there. And then I would say more on the tail end, it became more about riding on the franchises that were already there, like the Gears, the Halos, and that was still great. But it was like, what happened to all those games that you were dropping like early, like fostering like the Jet Set Radios and Blue Dragons and Lost Odysseys and games like that. A lot of that started going away, and it just. When you give people that kind of love and that kind of greatness and they expect greatness from you, once you set that bar, you can't drop under that.
Yeah.
And they're not far from getting that back. They can absolutely get it back because, again, we play the revisionist history game where people seem to forget how many people Sony lost when they had their PS3 debacle. No one talks about it. No one wants to talk about that.
Right.
But it happened. I was one of them. I was like, are they out of their mind?
Mm-hmm.
The console that you'll be willing to get 2 jobs to own.
$599 US.
Yeah, it might. It's a PlayStation game. You think I'd be there day one? I was like, they're out of their mind.
Get 2 jobs. Jesus.
And in a lot of ways, Microsoft, that was like a great advantage for them having the year lead. And then Sony, again, with that complacency, losing that direction, that focus, thinking that you can do no wrong, you're on top. They learned really fast. They got humbled pretty quickly.
Yeah, they did.
Yep. It's taking Microsoft a little bit longer to be humbled. And hopefully this E3 is really going to show me something about whether or not they're humbled or not. Because you can see people talk on Twitter. You can see people. And granted, I love Xbox executives for the most part. I really think Phil's a great guy. I think Aaron Greenberg is fantastic. I think the people running that show now are fantastic. And so let's see if they take ownership of this new era of Xbox, or if they're just going to let, the people with the money do the talking and they don't change anything. Because if they come out with a power play, it's over. I really think it's over. There's no catching up, and they're just going to be in a bad way. They're just going to keep getting bad press. So
I don't think it's over as much as they probably lose some more mind share. If they're profitable, I think Microsoft's happy. And that's it. And I think at the end of the day, that's ultimately
Well, that's why I said this E3 for them, all eyes are going to be on them for a multitude of different reasons, from a content standpoint, from what Scorpio truly means, what their direction is. It really is going to be a roadmap. And like people keep saying, is Phil's first E3. It's his E3.
Yeah.
There truly is no more of the hangover of the Dimatric, era or the early Xbox One era. This is truly, you're going to see the vision for what they have for Xbox as a brand and as a product.
Yeah.
So they do. Yeah. On that regard, they do have a lot riding on it because, they are fighting for that mind share again. Mm-hmm. So, yep. And people have to realize those aren't knocks. As a consumer, you put your money down, you can speak on whatever you want to speak on.
That's right.
And it's not, and as a consumer and a fan, you should, if something's not giving you what you want, be vocal. You don't have to be a dick about it, but you can be vocal. And you can't put your head in the sand and say, no, it's all good.
Yep.
Because I would argue that, Sony heard loud and clear what their fans were pissed about.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely
and
did.
They were very careful with how they handled the PS4. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of rants, that rant's over.
Yep, it is.
Yeah. So, Mike, so what do you guys got? Are you guys broadcasting this week on Four Guys and Quarters?
Yeah, we got a show. We're gonna do a lot of the same old thing. So if you want to hear, some E3 predictions from a few different people, we're gonna have our usual cast going 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, and then, I'll be flying out on Friday. I'm gonna be posting a lot of stuff on my Twitter. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, it's _Inferno217 _. So definitely follow me because I'm going to be posting a lot of pictures, and I will get my selfie with Sam. Damn it!
It'll happen.
B Money, you're going to be there, right?
I unfortunately will not be there this year.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, I will make my return next year though.
Okay, well next year we'll get that selfie.
That's right.
But yeah, last year was like my feel out period. I'd never been before. I just want to learn the ways. I did that camp out for the Fan Fest and everything. You don't have to do that so much this year. So I'm riding on cloud 9 going into this thing, and I will, I'll be doing a lot more networking, taking pictures with people, meeting people, that kind of thing. So looking forward to it.
Yeah. I'll see you next year, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I got family out there too. So.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Family out like outside LA.
Nice.
Yeah. So
there you go. Stay with them then.
Yeah. I probably could actually.
Mm-hmm.
My two aunts live out there.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So I could probably stay with them, but yeah. Well, like I said, Sam and Mike, enjoy E3. We look forward to getting some updates from you guys while you guys are out there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I was going to say something else and I forgot. I had another announcement to make, but it just slipped my mind. So on that note, we're going to go ahead and end the podcast. Thank you for everyone for tuning in live. And for those of you who are going to listen later on, give us a like, thumbs up. And hey, we'll catch you guys next week. We'll probably do some E3 stuff. Probably do something after Microsoft's conference on Sunday. And may do some things during E3 before our Wednesday podcast. So just keep an eye out for that stuff. I'll post it on Twitter. So gentlemen, as always, a pleasure. And we will see you guys next week. Happy E3, everyone.
Peace out.